today. So every day we start fresh because we can't affect the past, but we damn sure can make a difference today.
Welcome to episode 52 of Shot Talk. It's Jennifer.
And Kari.
And since we're on hiatus, we thought it might be fun to talk about a season 5 episode of Castle, since quite a bit of the cast and crew, like recurring and guest stars, have started on Castle and migrated over to the Rookie. So we wanted to talk about Castle with our good friend and resident Castle expert and Stan, Lauren from the Locker Room, One Chicago, who has been on the podcast before. So welcome, Lauren.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we kind of wanted to find out, like, how did you find Castle and start watching it? Did you just like happen to scroll upon it on ABC one day?
So this story goes way back to elementary school days. To preface the story, I was terrified of literally everything as a child, like coyotes, fire, name it, I was scared of it. So my best friend at elementary school, her favorite show was Castle, and she brought over the season 1 DVD to our sleepover. And I remember this night so vividly because this is how traumatic it was for me. But we were sitting on the couch, and the first season of Castle, the beginning of the episodes are really graphic, the way that they show the murder of the case that it's going to be on. And I just remember this episode starting and this girl's dead body going around and around and around in a washing machine. And that was it for me. Like, that scarred me so bad. So I was like, I am never watching this show again. My 10-year-old ass was like, I'm so over it. I'm not watching it. Goodbye. So we turned it off. And then probably like 4 years later, I think I was around 14, I was like, I think saw like their first kiss or something, Castle and Beckett's. And I was like, wait. So I went back and I like binged the show from the beginning, and I literally became obsessed with it, and I like made an Instagram account for it, Castle TV Scenes, shout out. And I it was like my first fandom. So that's just like, I just became like obsessed with the little Castle world, and so it just holds a very dear place in my heart. It's like my comfort show. That's your little
and your friend bringing it to a sleepover when you guys were 10, like, that's a lot.
I know.
Like, are you sure?
I had no idea what I was in for. It was like traumatic.
So then you didn't know like any of the actors or like anything before you started it? Okay.
No, I didn't know anything. She was just like, this is my favorite show. And we started, and I was like, girl, what is this? Like, let's watch Hannah Montana. What is? Girl.
Literally. And that's what I was watching when I was 10, was Hannah Montana on like Disney Channel. So
like murders, but it's fine.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So we'll dive into the Castle recap. But first we have some news to cover because there's been some casting news for the Rookie Feds. Kari, do you want to take it away?
Oh, sure. So Kevin Zegers and James Lesser joined the cast of the Rookie Feds, and Kevin will play Brendan, who's like, I guess like an actor turned FBI agent, who has like a lot to prove. He like went to Quantico and everything. This is like his first placement. And then James will play Carter Hope, who's like a by the book agent, who like joined the FBI after having a career as a lawyer. And he's the one that will be Simone Clark's like TO.
Nice.
So, and because I won't ever not talk about other shows that they've been on. They were both last seen on like ABC's Rebel, so like that's fun that they're both back in like the ABC family.
Yeah. So it sounds like Brendan's kind of gonna be like Aaron Thorson, but like agent.
Ooh,
you know?
a little. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. And then it'll be interesting to see Carter Hope. I've seen James in Good Girls, so that's where I've known him from, because when the casting news came out, I was like, who is that? I've seen his face before, and then I finally got a chance to look him up on IMDb, and it was like, he was in Good Girls. That's right. So kind of like as an FBI agent too, so that's interesting. yeah, and then filming for season 5 started last week, and we had a lot of behind the scenes tidbits, including Eric dressed up as Dim again. So we can only assume that Lucy is going to be juicy, which will be great. And then it looks like Nathan is going to be on the first episode of the Rookie Feds, so that'll be fun to watch. Yeah, so let's just dive right into the episode. We'll kind of do this like how we did Eric and the Ugly Truth, as far as like do a brief synopsis of the show, kind of give our thoughts on it, and then just like some Chenford parallels that we saw, and then also just like what we would like to happen for Chenford that kind of is similar to Caskett, but not totally. I mean, it's in the same realm kind of, because Alexi Hawley and like Nathan, spearheaded Castle, and now they're doing the Rookie. So it could very well happen, but
can we just talk about like what is that ship name about? Like
I know.
I get it, it's their, but I'm just like that is like the like dead ship is like literal like Caskett.
I know.
Like oh my god, I'm always just so struck by that like that's their like the last names like put together. I get it, I do, but I'm just like, wow.
They made in one of their episodes, Nathan's character, Rick, he even said, he's like, we have to combine our names. He's like, are we Rick Kate? And then he's like, no. And he's like, ooh, Caskett, because of the murder thing. So in the show, they made it like,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But I just like, it just, oh my gosh, it just always throws me for a loop. Like,
it's interesting that they talked about it in the show, because like usually they don't. Like Chenford would never be like, oh, so what are we? Like Chenford. Juicy? Like, I don't know.
I know.
But if they did, I mean, I would be here for it. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But a brief synopsis of the show is that Richard, otherwise known as Rick Castle, is a famed mystery novelist who teams up with no-nonsense NYPD detective Kate Beckett to solve the case of a copycat killer who's modeling murders after Rick's novels. While working the case, the two realize that this partnership has its benefits and continues working together, eventually taking their professional relationship into the romantic stage. So it originally aired from 2009 to 2016 for 8 seasons. And it was like a comedy drama, so kind of fits in with how the Rookie is now. And then it was a mystery and crime procedural. So do you want to go over who also starred and like the guest stars, Kari?
Sure. So it also starred Susan Sullivan. I hope I'm gonna say, is it Kirkas?
I think so.
James Dever, Molly Quinn, Tamala Jones, and Penny Johnson Gerald. And I know Jennifer had mentioned it earlier, that like other Castle stars have like crossed over to the Rookie, and then obviously like Alexi and like Robert Bella and like Bill Rowe and like Terrence Paul Winter, like they all like wrote, directed, produced episodes of Castle, and they now all work on the Rookie.
I didn't realize that Robert Bella was on Castle. I saw Terrence and Alexi in the credits, but I didn't realize that Robert was in it. Cool.
Just really a couple.
I think that all of the like cast members who were on Castle were all on the same episode of the Rookie. I know that John and Seamus were. I don't know about Molly.
Yeah.
And then Tamala Jones was later. But I think John and Seamus were in the same episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they did it was like Cast from the Past, I think, was like how ABC like spinned it or something.
Yeah.
Wait, John has been on an episode of The Rookie? I know he was on This Is Us, which actually I liked his character in Castle better than This Is Us, than his character in This Is Us.
Yeah, no, John and Seamus were in the same Rookie episode, and then Molly was in an earlier one, I'm pretty sure. And then
they were both in the Bet episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
203.
So good.
Yeah.
I was like losing my mind when I was watching it. I was like, what's happening? So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the synopsis for the episode that we're talking about today is 522 called Still. And it was directed by Bill Rowe. And so it's basically after tracking the killer to his apartment, Beckett steps on a bomb trigger and must stand in place while the bomb squad finds a way to defuse it. Castle stays with her and they argue over who liked who first through flashbacks. It was an interesting episode, honestly.
I think if you ask a majority of the Castle stands, they will say that this episode is like at least in their top 5. I think it's like one of the best Castle episodes ever.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback saying that it was people's favorites. I mean, this one, honestly, I liked it only because I've never seen Castle like before this, and I probably won't after. So it was nice to see like where Caskett is like coming from to get here, but also like I don't know, I didn't have to sit through like an hour-long case, like just solely on the case. So
yeah,
it was a good episode.
Literally depressed. You guys aren't gonna watch it. It's fine.
I might. I don't know.
Yeah.
It intrigued me. Like, I can understand like why, Lauren, you were like, oh, we have to watch like this one because it like gives you a good idea of like, you know, like an overview. But
like all their best moments.
Yeah. But yeah, there are things that like I would have to like get used to if I were to like start watching it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, one of them being Rick's just like inappropriateness.
Yes.
Like I would rather take Nolan's cringy lines any day over
like literally
Rick's like inappropriateness. Yeah.
Like I think I literally put that in the outline because I was just like, never ever, ever do I need to hear Rick Castle say anything like so far over the line again.
In season 1, his whole character was based around how he was this like playboy. He was this famous writer. He got all the girls, and then like he met Kate, and then as the seasons went on, he like grew and he just like became less of a playboy. And the season, oh my gosh, let me just explain to you everything.
No, you're up first for general thought, so go ahead.
There was something that I don't know if I should say because if you guys watch, I don't want to spoil. It's stressful. It's fine.
I am not gonna remember, honestly, because I have a hard time keeping track of like who is who and like what their character names were, and
it's an old show, so I would probably find spoilers anyway. So
that's fine. Okay, so Kate gets shot in the season 3 finale, and when she gets shot and she's laying there, he tells her that he loves her, and then she passes out. And when season 4 opens, she's like, I don't remember anything that happened when I got shot. But when in reality, she remembered literally everything. And so the entire season is her in therapy and her kind of working through that trauma and getting to the place where she can be like available and like ready for a relationship with him. But he ends up finding out that she knew the entire time when she was like in like the interrogation room with someone. And so he was like, you remember? And so he is like, well, if she doesn't want me, then he starts going back to his playboy days. And like they make a comment how now he's like, after all his growth, he's back to the original Castle. Like, and so that was just like, they really showed like he had totally changed after meeting Kate. And then when that happened, he went back to his little playboy days, but only for a couple episodes. And then we got it together. So it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I know they showed that like a brief, like, of that moment where she got shot in the flashbacks. And so I was like, okay. They had so many like near death experiences though. Like I was just like,
it's crazy. I think Castle is one of the best shows I've ever watched that has the best relationship build up between two characters. Like the slow burn and the way that they formatted the relationship and like their growth and how they came together, like it hits. And when they finally get together, that moment, like it just hits so hard. Like it's just so good after they're all like the building was so great.
I've seen the moment where they do hook up, but I never knew like the context behind it. So I was just like, oh, okay. And honestly, I just watched it because I liked the song behind it. So
in my veins.
Yeah.
Literally was on the floor when that moment happened. It was so good. It's so rewarding.
And you were like 14 then, or I guess older.
Like, I think I was like 13. Yeah. Because I was 14. Yeah, when season 6 happened. So yeah, I was like a baby, 12, 13.
And you were like, what is going on right now? Why am I on the ground over this fictional couple?
Literally, I was like crying. I was like, oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it.
Um,
So obviously you've watched Castle many times, I'm sure. So what were like some of your general thoughts from this episode? Like first time viewer, like, you know, how many ever times you viewed it, kind of.
I loved it. I thought it was so great because, well, this is also her first episode that she tells him that she loves him. So that was like so great. Loved it. I just think overall this episode's really well done because they mashed up all of their greatest moments into one like little compilation. And I don't know, it's just like this show is like kind of like a comfort show, and that episode, while even though she is standing on a bomb, it's just very comforting to watch because it's just like it feels very like not like homey, but like it just feels like happy to like watch all their like how they've grown and things.
Yeah.
So I have not watched season 8 of Castle, so
I'm honestly shocked by that.
Yeah, have not watched. I think I only watched half of 7 and not any of 8. I watched the last episode of 8, so I know how the show ends. I did not watch any of it.
Understandable.
But this episode overall is so good. Definitely the top.
I do like how she had to stay in one spot and like just listen to him like ramble on. And then she was trying to like get in like her quips, and he was like, yeah, but listen to me. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was so cute because in the beginning of the episode, when he like wakes her up with coffee and then she gets called for a case and she's like, wait, and she runs back and kisses him again. That was all improv. So it was so cute. A little tidbit.
That is cute, yeah.
Yeah. The opening scene like made me wish I liked coffee. Like,
Same.
because it was just cool, like that little designs, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. Like I want like fancy coffee to be brought to me. And I'm like, wait, I don't even like coffee. So
coffee was Caskett's thing. Like coffee and handcuffs. Like they're
Awkward.
Great.
But like every episode he brought her a cup of coffee. There's even a quote where he's like, it was so embarrassing that I literally remember this. He's like, I bring you a cup of coffee every day just to see you smile. Something like that. So that was their thing.
I mean, I did kind of find it weird that like he was standing above her like as she woke up. It was like creepy, but kind of
jump
cute.
scare.
I don't know. Yeah.
Jump scare.
Yeah, but it was cute with the holy coffee thing. I mean, I wasn't expecting that from Castle, so yeah.
Yes. Richard Castle. He's a little simp.
Wait, Kari, were you talking about your thoughts now?
Oh, I just kind of, because Lauren had mentioned like the coffee thing, and I was like, oh, that's literally like my first little thought. Yeah. But I mean, I can just like, I don't know what it like, just like, because Castle's like so like confident and like sure of himself, but it just like kind of bordered on like being like really cocky for me. And like I'm not like a huge fan of those like characters, but then I appreciated though that like Kate was like, well no, like I thought you were an ass. Like she doesn't hold back. So it like kind of they like balance each other out in that way, because like she's gonna tell him like exactly like what she thinks.
A little bickering.
Yeah. And I just thought it was fun that like his vest said like writer in all caps instead of police, like normal.
Yeah, why did I have to say it so big? I was like, we get that he's a writer.
He got that made in the season 1, and she was like, what on earth are you wearing? He's like, I got it specially made for when we go on like our little adventures, whatever. And then that episode he gets shot, and but the bullet dots the eye on his vest.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So he's like, it works. So, and then for the rest of the show, he wore the writer vest. And some kid in my high school during my castle phase, he was Richard Castle for Halloween, and this is so embarrassing. I literally asked to take a picture with him.
That's so fun. Oh my god. Wait, did he have like did he have the vest?
Yeah, he had the vest.
Oh my god. I'm dying.
Took a picture with him.
I was waiting for you to say that you dressed up as Becca, not like you took a
Heck
picture
no.
with him.
I could not pull off Beckett. But yeah, I was just to take a picture with him. I'm sure it's still on my like middle school iPad somewhere. But
oh, that's so good. So good.
Yeah. I don't know, like, so yeah, so I liked that. I mean, obviously, since I had never seen, apart from like the brief like maybe 5 to 10 minutes that I've watched it a couple of times on like, they do like reruns on like Lifetime Network, if anyone else has that channel that's often on at random times throughout the day. And so, but like just seeing it from like start to finish is kind of tricky to like track all like the characters, like who they're talking about, as they were going over things. But like what hasn't changed is like Nathan's ability to do like the shocked emoji expression. Yeah. Like this episode in particular is almost like 10 years old now, and his expression hasn't changed.
Same.
And, yeah, so that was, I don't know why I thought like it would have been different, but just to know that like he's always had that expression or like ability to do those kinds of faces is,
I feel like fun. He plays like the same character in like all of the stuff that he's in, or like, I mean, like John and Richard are a lot of the same. And I know I was telling you guys this earlier, but season 9 of Castle is what the Rookie is loosely based off of. So I feel like John is a lot of Richard, just in a different font.
Yeah, not as much inappropriateness for sure.
Yeah.
He has his moments, but it's not as much as Richard Castle.
Yeah. Well, and John's like more like, I don't know, like humble, kind of. I mean, like in the first season, he like really wanted to prove himself as a rookie, which I feel like is very much like Castle always wants to kind of be like the center of attention. But like I feel like John, as time's like gone on, like for the Rookie, is like more kind of grounded and a little more like just, I don't know, like he gets like where he's supposed to fit within like the rest of the group. And yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, just there are so many little things though that like that like Castle said or like did that reminded me of like Nolan. Like I think it's crazy.
I think too, with the characters that he plays, like Rick and Nolan, the character is better because of the supporting actors or like the co-stars. It makes the character better. So like Nolan, like who he interacts with, the dialogue back and forth makes him charming and like makes him like has funny. But if he's just like a character by himself, like if Richard Castle didn't have Beckett, I'd know. Like that's why that's why they canceled the show. Like no one's gonna watch that. And like John Nolan is like people enjoy him because of how he interacts with his like peers and stuff. It's like a very much like an ensemble needed character.
Yeah,
for sure. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Just like I don't know, like when Castle was like, it could be nothing. Like when she's like, no, this is like an actual like, you know, thing that's going to happen. He's like, no, but it could be nothing. So like he was good at like distracting her, which I appreciated. And it was nice of her to say that like, you know, it's good that, you know, like of all the people to be stuck with, she was glad it was him. And I don't know, I didn't originally like pose this as a question, but like why do all the detectives like they always call their captain like yes sir? Like
I
think it's just respect.
Just okay, that's just a thing.
But I was like, why not yes ma'am? Like she's a woman.
Beckett, someone called her that, and she was like, "You can only address me as sir." So like it was just like
Oh, okay.
So they all call her sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
Gates, like, Gates is literally one of my favorites. I love her.
Yeah. She was
Yeah,
like
she's, like,
taking the
boss.
shit. Yeah.
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 But I was just like really confused. I was like, why? Okay, cool. Yeah, but like the flashbacks were like really like well like put together and things. But yeah, I can't handle like the some of the inappropriate. Like I'm like, okay, if it's a little, like flirty, but it kind of moves into that arena a little bit, like I'm okay. But just like the handcuffs mentioned in like what I'm assuming to be like the pilot or one of the first episodes, I was just like, nope, that's worse than any Balin line I've ever heard, like ever.
A lot of the Castle DVD like pictures is them handcuffed together.
That's hilarious.
Like throughout the seasons. So that was like totally their thing.
Oh my god.
That's not weird at all.
That's hilarious.
If I ever like get into my John Nolan like kind of slander phase where I'm not in the mood where I like him, I might go back and watch Castle because it'll like make me not like Nolan. Like I'll like him a little bit more.
That's the thing, like Richard Castle, like he grows on you. Granted, not my favorite man, but it grows on you, and when you have him paired with Beckett, you love them. Like it's just like, well, I'm gonna pull up the Castle DVD things for you guys to look at.
I just can't though. Is it like, was it ever like a case where someone like handcuffed them together, or is that just their?
Yeah, there was. Let me see. There was
I feel like I remember seeing that DVD cover somewhere.
Yeah, there was a case where all of them they're all handcuffed. This one, they're literally all handcuffed together.
Wow, that's craziness.
Yeah.
There was a case where they wake up on a mattress and they're handcuffed together. They were drugged. They have to get out of this, and they have to get out of this box that they're in, this little room. And the entire time they are handcuffed, and so it's just like a joke.
They literally did that on Take Two on ABC too. Like,
yeah,
characters handcuffed together and have to escape like this room, and they. Oh my god, that's so funny.
I mean, it makes sense because he's a mystery crime writer and she's, a cop, so it does make sense. It's just kind of a lot.
Yeah.
They have some of the best pre-getting together moments that like make you want to die. It's just like so good.
I've noticed that with some ships, it's like the moments before they're canon are way better than the moments when they are canon. And I'm like, can we go back to the non-canon moments? Like,
the little like flirty, so good.
I hope that Chenford never gets to be that way. Like, I hope that their moments before they're canon and when they're canon are good all around.
Yeah. I don't think Eric and Melissa would ever let that happen though. Like for Chenford to be like, stagnant.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. But like, oh my gosh, Kate's hairstyles. She's like what Olivia Benson is on SVU to like NBC. That's like Kate Beckett's hair on like ABC for Castle.
Her hair grew between season 1 and season 4 or 5. I was like, girl, they're not extensions. I refuse to believe that they're extensions. There's no way. I'm like, need to know your secrets.
Yeah. I mean,
well, and like the different colors too, because wasn't it like really red in one and then like kind of brunette in another?
Yeah.
Like
Stevie Koenig is so pretty. Like I literally just want to be her. I love her.
She is.
Yeah, and I loved like her like makeup too, and like the flashbacks and just like even like her ponytail and like in the vest and stuff for the majority of this episode was like good. Like she just pulls off like everything really well. And
it's
so
true.
That was fun. And just her sassy moments in the flashbacks, like don't make me shoot you, or I'm gonna kill you. Like she just like, and like Nathan's like, perfect timing with like the kind of memeable expressions, like when he's on the phone or he's like trying to be like quote unquote smooth. It just like it again balances each other out really well.
They were a great pairing.
I also loved her wardrobe. Like her wardrobe was just killer all the time, even with
So
a
good.
NYPD vest on.
Ugh, I know. Literally could pull. She could literally pull off a paper bag. It's fine.
Yeah,
Love her.
she is definitely the reason why I would watch the show.
Yeah.
No, Kate Beckett is
Same.
the best
Yeah.
character and the most well done character
Yeah,
ever. Love her so much.
like I also loved how there was one scene, maybe it was a flashback scene where like she was just with a bunch of the guys and like she didn't even need another female to be there, like because she just like kept them all in their place. It was great.
The core four, Kate, Richard, and then Seamus and John's characters, Kevin and Ryan, they played off each other so well. I said earlier, it's really what made the show so good was because the core four were just so amazing together. It just made all the episodes so fun because they had the best chemistry and it was just amazing. Like the best ensemble ever. So
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I don't know if it's just because like this specific episode where like Castle has to like kind of distract Beckett, but just like Nathan's characters talk so much, like almost too much. Like when Kate was like, when your storytelling turns into wild speculation, then it becomes maddening. I'm like, that is literally like, I'm sure what every training officer has thought about like John Nolan's like ramblings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Probably any suspect too. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And he's just like a very like Castle anyways, like a very like, I don't know, I'm putting here like talk first, think later kind of person. Like he just kind of just goes or just like talks about it and then just kind of he skips the like thinking out of like his next move and he just kind of jumps right into it. And I feel like John's like not as like off the cuff as like Rick is.
Because he's like a mystery writer, they make his whole thing is like they'll have a case and he'll like make it a huge story. So he'll be like, oh,
Okay.
ninjas did it. Or
yeah, that was hilarious in the flashback though. My God. They had like, you know, the rookie like did that zombie episode and like the Halloween thing. And they mentioned like so I can just totally see how they kind of take some like things from Castle and work it into the rookie.
I can definitely see how some Castle characters are similar to the rookie. Like Angela Lopez is almost like Beckett in the way that like she takes no shit. And like Rick is obviously similar to John Nolan because he just talks a lot. And kind of wants to make things about him. And then I guess like Gray would kind of be like the captain, just in the way that like, you know, you need to like respect them. But I mean, that's kind of also a given. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have to watch more of Castle to like put the two shows together because I feel like since they are written by pretty much the same people and like, you know, they kind of exist in the same universe, but not really, like that the characters would kind of be similar.
Yeah. I don't know, like I liked Kevin and Ryan's like they're just like they work like so well together. It's like best buds. And I feel like I don't know why, but it just kind of like reminds me of like whenever like Wesley's at like the district or something and like puts, you know, his like ideas into the mix or just like because they just like think outside the box a little bit and like make it fun. And I feel like that's kind of like a little bit like Lopez, a little bit just like I said, like when Wesley's there or like just I don't know. Just like
it's nice because with the crew, like because like obviously Kate and Rick will be paired up and then or Kate and Cass will be paired up and then those two will be paired up, but then they'll like switch them. So like Ryan and Kate will be paired up, Castle will go with the boys sometimes, and like no matter who was paired up with who, like it was never boring to watch. Like I never was like, oh, like I wish he was back with Kate or I wish like she was not paired with that. Like it was like whoever was paired up with who like worked. And I feel like on the rookie, like it kind of works like that too. Like you know, like always like Chenford always needs to be paired together for me, but but I feel like anyone who's paired, like like everyone works well together. So if they were all paired
Yeah.
up together, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I will never ever want to see again is like, I don't even know if like Castle is meant to be dressed like Elvis in whatever part of the flat. I can't deal with that. Like, I need that to never grace my screen again. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, maybe it's just because it is like out of context. I literally have no idea like what is happening like before or after that. But I was just like,
It was a bachelor party. Yep.
oh God.
Yeah.
No, oh my God. No, I can't. Like, no, just
Traumatic.
yeah, I never ever want to see that again. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked how they balanced each other out, and like you had said, Lauren, like the supporting characters really like help like prop Castle up more. Like, I mean, Beckett like really can stand on her own, and like I would watch the show for her
Yep.
more than him.
It's funny
Yeah.
too with the show, they gave Beckett more of a backstory and more depth than they did Castle. It was almost like he was just kind of supporting her, and so that's like watching her growth and her, because a lot of it, her mom was murdered, and so that was like, that's why she became a cop, and that's a lot of it too, is like finding her mom's killer who did it, which also, any One Chicago fans out there, her mom's killer was Bob Root, who played Disco Bob on One Chicago.
Stop, really?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was Jack Coleman. Oh my God.
So he's like one of the main villains on Castle, and the main villain on One Chicago, so it's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was gonna say, I was like, I recognize his name, and I was like, why is Disco Bob on the Castle cast list? But then I was gonna put
he's
like
the main, like one of the biggest villains, like, and he like orchestrates. Yeah, so she has so much depth and backstory. Castle doesn't really have that. They kind of just made him like kind of like the light comedic relief character when how they balance them. So and so the way I have beef with what happened, but I just think it was funny that they were when she got fired. I was like, how the dynamic of the show would totally change because of how it'd been written for all those seasons, because he would just be comedic relief, which I feel like The Rookie is more comedy than drama.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so probably have that feel. But
Did Castle seem like it was more comedy versus drama, like when it was first airing?
there were like definitely comedic moments and lighter, which makes it like a comfort show, because you're not watching it and you're not like sobbing every episode, because it's like it has the worst cliffhanger in the world, or it's like sad. But I definitely think it was darker, and some of the episodes were a lot darker than but it did like focus heavily on comedic relief to like kind of balance it out. But The Rookie is definitely more comedy than I would say drama.
Yeah. I know, I describe it as like a lighthearted kind of comedic cop show. Like, it's not meant to be taken that way all the time, but you're not gonna be watching it and be like, oh my God, someone else is gonna die, or like, you know, there's
you're not
this,
like stressed
huge,
watching it.
Yeah, like there's not this huge like crime scene or anything. So I must have like blacked out or something in that flashback with him dressed like Elvis, because I don't totally remember it. So I'm gonna have to go back and
it
watch
was quick, but I was just like, because I had to like pause like certain moments as I was like taking notes and kind of writing things down, but I didn't pause this, right? And I'm just literally like, my like head is like following him as he's walking, like just my jaw is just like dropped. I was just like I was so confused, but not like in a shocked way, but just like a very confused way. I was just like, what is this? Like, why is this happening? Yeah, never again. I don't.
Oh yeah. Maybe I did see that one.
I can't. Like, I just, like have enough time. Like oh my gosh.
You pulled that up really quickly, Lauren. I have questions.
Google is a powerful place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to see John Nolan dressed up like anything. Sorry, not sorry.
No,
John. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so some of my thoughts. So I did like how he like tried to calm her while she was standing on the bomb. Not that she was like getting all like stressed out and worried and everything, but he just tried to like diffuse the situation, and I thought that was really like, I don't know, it didn't seem like he was trying to make everything about him at that point, but then yet he was, because when she was standing on the bomb, like he had to find out if she had feelings for him first. Like they made it this whole thing, and I'm sure that it was like to keep her mind off of everything going on, but I was just like, dude, really? Like we really have to make it about this right now. Um, but then I loved how like she like wears pants in the relationship, and he's just like so smug about it. And I just love how she like isn't afraid to put him in his place. Like I'm yeah, I love that about her. But then in one of the flashbacks, he was like, I'd be happy to rub lotion on you. And I was like, don't really need to hear that. But it's nice to know that the cringy lines aren't just a John Nolan thing. Like I would like to know who writes those because we don't need them.
That was like my favorite. They're in the season 1 and season 2 mainly. That was like my favorite dynamic, where he would say something totally like out of pocket and just like gross, and she'd be like, shut up, like would not take it. And she'd be like, you're so stupid. And she like, he was like, she like acted like he totally like annoyed her, and I'm sure he totally did annoy her, but it just like, I love the dynamic. It was just so good.
Yeah, if I watch Castle like over the summer or something, if I get a chance to, I will only be watching for Sana and for Becca. Like, let the
Period.
record show, I will only watch for her.
As you should.
Yeah.
She carried it. Literally carried Castle on her back.
Yeah, pretty much. In the flashback sequence to Castle being inappropriate, I don't remember which one, but I feel like it was all like most of them. Like just
the fact that there's more than one says something,
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't have Lifetime, so I don't watch like the Castle reruns or see them a whole lot, but like sometimes they'll be on ABC, and like I go in to shut off my mom's light or whatever, and she falls asleep with ABC. So like like Nathan's voice will be on TV, and I was like, wait, I know that voice from somewhere, and I look and it's Castle, and I'm like, okay, well, we're just gonna leave that be.
I know when I picked Still, I was like, because I was trying to find an episode that would kind of wrap all of their moments together. And so I was like, this will be good. But it like, you guys missed the whole like build up, which makes it so rewarding. I don't know.
I know.
Like I get like watching it like just out of context, you're like, okay, like he's so annoying. But when you like watch build up, you're like it's just silly.
We'll have to like watch the build up of Castle and do another like Castle shop talk episode, because
it's just so good.
I mean, I saw the episode, or at least the scene where they do hook up, because I like woke up in the middle of the night and caught that on TV. So I've seen that part, but like other than that, that's it. Yeah. But I mean, Beckett like calling Castle out and asking him to be serious, like I loved that, and that was everything that I ever needed.
So good.
And then we got to the part where like we find out that he wrote a sex scene about her in his book, and I was like, wait, what? Like,
okay,
we did not.
Here's the tea. Yeah. So he writes these books called Nikki Heat, the Nikki Heat series, off of Beckett, and like off of their partnerships. So, like all of the cases that he is with her, he like writes them for his book, for his crime novels. Okay. She's his inspiration. That's and insanity. But she is a secret, she didn't tell him this, but she's like a really big Richard Castle fan, and she didn't tell. Hey, like she's like trying to play cool, like, oh, whatever. So when he writes his first Nikki Heat novel, someone mentions how there's a sex scene in it, but she's such a big fan, she like pre-ordered the book and whatever. And so there's a scene where she's like hiding in the bathroom, like trying like to find the sex scene, and then Castle like pops over the stall, and he's like, it's on page 105. And she looks at him, and then he like leaves, and then she like opens the book to page 105 to like read it. And the Nikki Heat series is actually published in real life. A ghostwriter wrote them, so you can
in my library.
Yeah, I read them. And there is a sex scene on page 105. So
oh my god,
real thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've like seen them though, at least the versions that I've seen, like literally it's like Nathan's photo like on the back of the book.
Yeah,
as,
they
like,
made it. They're like,
Castle.
Richard
It's
Castle
so
wrote it,
funny.
and it's Nathan. Yep.
Yeah. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, when we got to
Whole
that
thing.
flashback, I had to do a double take. I was like, wait, what did they just say? And then I like rewinded. I was like, wait, did I catch that right? Yeah.
Ugh.
That's something. So then I don't know. I also loved like when everyone was calling Beckett out for liking Castle in the flashbacks. I was like, yeah, we need that to happen in multiple shows.
I know.
Yeah. But then also like Beckett, like a flashback to her wearing, or the flashback of her wearing his outfits, like to turn his head. I was like, okay, that was hot. And also like her wardrobe pulled it off. Like
So
the
good.
undercover. Oh my gosh, Becca in that dress. I was like, get it, girl. Like, get it.
I know. And half of the stuff when they're undercover is like like Castle gets himself into some like shitty situation. She has to go save him. So she's
Yeah.
like in the van. She has to like take off her shirt and like put a
And, like-
coat on like to like show her bra or like something like just to get him out of trouble because he's like
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, there was the one flashback where he was like, I thought that you were doing something else or whatever. And she was like, just take care of it. Like, I got it. Don't worry about it. And I was just like, she is HBIC moment right there.
I love her so much. Love her so much. She's
Same.
my mom.
I might, you know what, Lauren, you've convinced me. I might give Castle a try and like watch a few episodes.
I was so annoying. I had COVID like a month ago, and that time I rewatched Castle from the beginning, and every day I would text our group chat and be like, "You guys need to watch the show. You guys need to watch it."
And we're just like, we don't know. And Lauren was like, come
Funny.
on, watch it.
Yeah. Well,
So
like my
annoying.
friend Kristen, she like knew of Nathan from Castle. Like she watched Castle back when it was originally on, and but she had never, I mean, she like mentioned it to me like a few times over the years, but I was just like never like, oh, okay, I have to watch this show like right now. But
So is Castle kind of like The Rookie where you have to like make it through season 1? Because I feel like The Rookie season 1 was not slow, but like you just kind of had to like make it through the bumps.
Honestly, Castle season 1 is really good. Like
Okay.
I think the pilot is really like I don't think it's a slow start TV show at all. Like it hops right in and it's good. And like I think if anyone asked me like if you could wipe your brain and rewatch a show for the first time, what show would it be from the beginning? I would say Castle, because just how good the buildup is.
Yeah.
Like I'm so jealous of y'all. Like you haven't seen it. And I wish I could rewatch it at the beginning.
That's literally how I am with Friends. I'm like, I wish that I could go back and rewatch this. Like, I've never seen it before.
Yep.
Yeah. My aunt watched Castle, and that's how she like started The Rookie, because she knew Nathan Fillion. And when I started watching The Rookie, she was like, did you know Nathan Fillion from Castle? I was like, no. Should I?
Like Nathan?
I was like, I'm more so watching for Chenford, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. It was nice to see like what happened before they got together, and you know, Castle is something, but never thought I would say that I like John Nolan better than I liked Richard Castle. Yikes. Yeah, so then Castle like calling Esposito to like find out who liked who first. I was just thinking like that would be Chenford and literally anyone else there at the Wilshire district. Like Gray, Angela, Nyla, literally anyone. And then Esposito's like, I think they're cracking. And he puts the phone on speaker. Definitely feel like that would be a total like Angela Lopez move. She would be like, I'm not even listening to this anymore.
And I feel like that is such a Chenford thing to do, where they'd
Yeah.
be like, who liked you? They like arguing about it.
Yeah. But then like Beckett saying that there's something about them that like always seems to draw in trouble. And they cut to like Caskett hooking up. I was like, okay, I can get behind this. And then who I can only assume was his mother, like walked in.
Yeah, I put that in a question mark too. I was like,
So they kissed for the first, or like they got together at the end of season 4, and that was the season 5 opening, was them in bed together, and then Martha, his mom, walks in on them, and that's when he's like, get in the closet. And they Yeah, so she walks in on them, which is so funny. But she like calls him out later. She's like, also, I totally knew that Beckett was in your room in that moment or whatever. Martha's such a good character.
I just loved how like pissed off Beckett looked, and like she blew the hair like out of her face and just like gave him the dirtiest look.
She snuck out. She ended up sneaking out of the house. And because he was like in the kitchen with his mom and daughter, and she ended up sneaking out of the house, and he met her back at her apartment, and she's like, are you gonna hide me in like any more closets or something? Like, are you? She's like we're in high school. Like,
that's not
just the dynamic is just so funny. Like, they just worked so well together.
I always forget that he has a daughter. Like,
yeah.
So did his wife, like, did they just get divorced, or like
he'd been married twice before?
Oh, good Lord.
He had his first wife, and then his second wife was the one he had Alexis with, and she like travels everywhere. She isn't really like a mom, and so, or like really like in her life mom. She just kind of like breezes in and breezes out. But Richard Castle was the constant for Alexis, and so they always talk about like how great of a dad he was, and he always talks about like how there's like not another job in the world that he wanted, like that was like giving him greater joy than being a dad to her. So they make him like very like, that was like his thing, is like he loved being a dad.
He's redeemed himself a little bit in my eyes, because like, you know, John is like such a dad, you know, like dad on the Rookie, and so I feel like that's cool. Another similarity. Kind of.
I also love how they're kind of like both single dads in the shows. You know?
Yeah. It's totally the same vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. But then like also when Castle says like, no matter how bad the situation is, we always find our way out. And Becca's like, really? How are we gonna do that this time? She just like challenges him. I love that. Like, I just love how she seriously just takes no shit from him. And then like he comes back and like wants to defuse the bomb, and she's just, you know, saying there's no point in it, all of that. But like Caskett getting interrupted with like their kiss is just kind of funny. Like, everyone can tell that they want to kiss at the end. And the captain's like, oh, why not?
They had been hiding their relationship from Gates the entire time, and that was when she finally found, like, that's when they realized that she knew, and she was like, you think I haven't known this entire time that you guys have been together? So all of season 5 they had been hiding it from the district, because they thought that if Gates found out that she wouldn't let Castle and Beckett work together anymore. And so when she was like, kiss the man, that was just so like, it's just such a good episode.
So season 5 was like canon season for Caskett. Season 5's got to be canon season for Chenford too, right? Like, I'm manifesting that.
It has to.
I'm manifesting it. I mean, they did have their first kiss in the season 4 finale, so like we're already ahead of the game there. So true. I loved though when they did kiss that their song played. I don't know. I love their song.
I know. I'm curious because Castle and Beckett's first kiss was, they were quote unquote undercover. They were like getting out of the car, and they were acting drunk because Ryan and Esposito were trapped inside of a like thing, and there was a guard, and the guard like walked towards them, and they were acting drunk, like trying to like be like, oh, we're not, whatever. And when the guard wasn't like walking away from them, Castle kisses Beckett, and then they start like making out, and then the guard like smiles and like turns around and walks away, and then she knocks him out. But they were like kind of undercover, and so I'm curious to see if like Chenford is good, as I know they kissed because they were like, oh, something could happen undercover, like gotta practice. But I'm curious to see if like they're actually gonna like have a real kiss, or something's like relationship is gonna happen while they're undercover.
Well, that's what I was thinking the whole entire time, like prior to seeing the season 4 finale. Well, I was thinking like almost kissed. I was still just like blown away that they actually like kissed for whatever reason. But yeah, I could see it.
I just loved like the flashbacks to the other like Caskett kisses. I was like, okay, can we get this for Chenford? I mean, we'll have the previously on the Rookie, and like the kiss will be in it, but also like we need more of that. We need more Chenford kisses, please.
It's true.
Alexi, Holly, if you're listening, don't don't rob us of this, please.
I want canon Chenford, but then I also don't want it right now. Like I could wait another season. Like I could have them become canon at the end of season 5. I kind of want like more of like the build up for them.
Yeah.
I
want
more
like
of them working together.
Yeah.
Too. Like
I want
I know,
the
me too.
pining after the season 4 finale, like Tim to totally pine after Lucy.
Oh yeah.
I really
I want that too.
Yeah.
Where he's like totally like in love with her. And she's like,
Yeah.
ah. Yep.
Yeah.
The build-up's the best.
We have to have the breakups of their respective relationships.
Oh, true.
Take time.
I mean, Kanoa was seen on set for season 5, wasn't he? I totally missed that Instagram story, but everyone was saying that. So don't know yet. We haven't seen.
He was at least on the Paramount like lot.
Oh, okay.
So I would assume that he was called in.
Yeah. We haven't seen Helena yet though, so who knows? Well, up until today, like right before we recorded, we haven't seen Wesley yet. And I was like, where's my man Wesley Evers? Like, I need to see his beautiful face.
Yeah, I love how it was like, Jennifer, are you okay?
And I hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, what? I'm awake. Like, I'm looking. I'm looking respectfully.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just want like, can Wesley have like sunglasses and like wear that in like scene? That'd be so funny.
I want to see him like roll up to the district one day and like his suit and sunglasses. And Angela's like, he does this like all the time. He thinks that he's so cool. And she totally just gives him shit. Yeah.
I love Wesley. I'm so happy he got promoted to DILF. Like,
literally
so proud of him.
I mean, Tim Bradford's kind of a DILF too, like dog dad. You know?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
There were some things that like we kind of saw with Chenford that like were similar in this episode of Castle. Not many. I don't know. To me, it was like hard to parallel Caskett and Chenford only because Nathan Fillion. Like,
I know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Like,
I didn't think about that.
But yeah, so there were some that we can go ahead and talk about. Lauren, do you want to start us off?
The one that I like, the one I mentioned earlier was like the one that stood out to me was just the undercover kiss. So I'm like curious to see how undercover Chenford's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But I think that I feel like something definitely is gonna like romantic is gonna have to happen while they're undercover. There has to be some like moment that happens because they're not just gonna have them go undercover and it be like nothing happening, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're making such a big deal out of it. I feel like, but I feel like it's gonna be focused on Tim pining after Lucy, which I love, and also a lot of it was Castle pining after Beckett. So I guess you could like parallel that where they're a little like, and then that's what I see.
Cool. I like that. I did not realize that Caskett. I don't know if I'll ever be used to like calling them that if I like ever do start like watching it and like have to put, because like even putting the hashtags for like the shop talk tweets, I was like, literally I want to put like the Caskett like emoji next to it just to be funny. But I didn't know that their first kiss was like technically undercover, so that's definitely a parallel.
And I feel like they were the same. They're kind of the same level as like Castle and Caskett. And I can't even say it either. They're like kind of the same level in season 3 that Chenford is like right now. So I'm curious to see if they will become canon by the end of the season. I feel like they will.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't try and play it out any longer than at least a season. Like given what we had in 422, like I don't think that they would try and play it out for like another 2 seasons.
Do you think that Chenford would say like I love you to each other before they become canon? Like something happens and like one of them's like about to die and the other one like says like I could see Lucy like getting hurt or something happening to her and Tim like like, and this is like probably later in season 5, and Tim like tells her that he loves her, because if he like simps for her the entire season,
Yeah.
I could see that kind of
fair.
happening, and that would definitely be a parallel to Castle and Beckett at the end of season 3, where she gets shot and then he tells her he loves her. I don't know, I kind of see that, because if
I could see that. Him like
Yeah.
blurting it out and not really realizing.
and then she doesn't, and then her like passing out or something happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to see, like, the buildup would definitely have to be there, because like Tim is so like locked up when it comes to like his feelings, and so like, and I feel like, I mean, even though Lucy hasn't really like admitted it, like she's still more like expressive when it comes to like just feeling all the feelings in general, I think. And so I definitely have to see like the, you know, pining on Tim's side to like get that to work. But yeah, I could see it happening for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need Tim Bradford pining after Lucy. Like
Need it so bad.
either half of season 5 or all of season 5. Like I definitely need it.
I kind of want all of it.
Yeah. And I want everyone to like be aware of it, and they're just like calling him out on his bullshit, but not around Lucy. They're just like, seriously, why don't you just like make a move already?
I feel like Tamara would be the one to do that.
Yeah.
Probably. There's like so many people though in like fan fiction and like just in the fandom in general that are like, oh well, they still have a bet going on. Like the, you know, the rest of like, you know, like Angela, Nyla, Gray, even like Smitty's in on it and all this stuff. And I'm like, I kind of want that to be canon, because that'd be hilarious if they have like you know, like an actual like pool thing, or if it's like, you know, just this like text chain that's going on where they, you know, like talk about it. Like, I don't know, I feel like something like that would kind of be within the realm of like what's the word I'm looking for, like believability or like plausibility for like the rookie to do.
I would love to see if it is a pool, like a betting pool or whatever going on at the district, or like karaoke bar or whatever. I would love to see who is facilitating it. Like, is it Angela? Is it Smitty? Is it Tamara? I mean, I feel like it very well could be Tamara, but I don't know.
I feel like Angela would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Angela would do it.
And then I feel like Gray would win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like someone would have to like force Nyla to do it or keep bugging Nyla to do it, because she's just like so over it. She's like, I already know. But
I think she would get like competitive, and she'd be like, when she realizes that she could win, she's like totally in. She's like, oh yeah, now I need to win.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, see it for sure.
Kari, what were some parallels that you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised by how like many little ones that I like picked up on. But really I'm realizing as I'm like looking at all of them, they're mostly, if not all, related to like 120 of the rookie. So like the season 1 finale.
Yeah.
For like Chenford. And just like, I don't know, like Castle staying with Beckett is kind of like Lucy staying. I mean, you know, they have, what is it? Not wall separation, but I mean, kind of like, you know, separated by the door in 120. And then just like, I don't know, I'm one for like quotes and just like words. So like the, you know, it's going to be okay, right? Like Kate's asking that. And then it's like Tim reassuring Lucy, like, it's going to be all right, dude. Like that parallel. And then I kind of like, when she can like tell that he's lying, kind of reminded me of like, you know, Tim calling out Lucy and is like, you know, you're good at a lot of things, but lying isn't one of them. And yeah, just like, I don't know, just because Castle and Beckett, they really do like know each other's like kind of behaviors and mannerisms and like little like ticks and stuff, and like that's obviously a Chenford thing. Like, you know, one of their things is like the you know me so well, too well thing.
I'm dying when you mentioned that parallel. They have like almost a direct parallel from the Chenford, like Lucy at Tim's house, and then him and her in separate rooms. There is an episode of Castle where they're at a hotel together and they have 2 different rooms, and Beckett's like, good night, Castle, and like she like goes into her room, shuts the door, and then as soon as she opens it again to go like for them to like hook up or like kiss or something, Castle shuts the door to his room. And so it's like such a parallel where like they were like thinking about it and like wanting to be. It's so good.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously, like, you know, Beckett being undercover like gives me Lucy Chen undercover vibes a little bit. And then just like I don't know who the criminal is in like the specific Castle moment in the flashback, but like when they're like, Castle, I got your girl, but it like that reminded me of like Rosalind kind of calling Tim like Lucy's fierce protector, like just the like criminals out of all people like being ones to like call out ships. Yeah, and then I don't know, just when like Castle's mom almost like caught them, it kind of just reminded me of like when Lucy shows up at Rachel's house unexpectedly and like hi, there's Tim as well.
Yeah.
So, and then just like, I mean, obviously I know Chenford hasn't said the, you know, L word yet, but just like, it just kind of reminded me, like leading up to that moment for them, like reminded me of like Tim being like, but if it isn't okay, like this is what's gonna happen. And Lucy's like, don't think like that, like, because you know Beckett was like, okay, we have to be like serious for a second, and Castle's just like, no, like it's gonna be fine. So it's like kind of they both like have that dynamic, like one is more realistic, the other is, you know, trying to be positive in this negative situation. So yeah, and then I don't know, Kate like calling her dad, I was glad they like put that, because I didn't know who she was calling until they like said it, and I was like, oh okay. I don't know, just like doing like last moments type of thing, like reminded me of like Lucy in the barrel, and so that hurt, but a little bit of a parallel in a way.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, like, you know, just the last moments and then like Lucy singing in the barrel. I didn't really pinpoint any like specific moments. I was focusing more on like the personalities. And I don't know, I felt like Beckett was kind of like Tim, like more jaded in a way and like realistic. Whereas Lucy was like Castle, and just is weird to say, but it is.
Just like in like the excitement kind of,
yeah,
like Castle gets so excited about like, oh, we got this and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
The excitement, the optimism, even kind of the cockiness, like in seasons 1 and 2, maybe like Lucy was a little cocky, not in a bad way, but yeah. They don't have the inappropriateness so in common, which is great. Gosh. I loved how like I feel like Becca being surprised by Castle solving like the mystery or whatever, it's kind of like similar to Chenford, like she like Bradford's a little like surprised by it but also not like shocked, and then Lucy's just, you know, like she kind of needs the praise and like needs the recognition of solving the murder mystery and stuff, especially in like the true crime episode or in some of the other episodes where like they have had like a real like crime or kind of like issue that they really had to solve, and then
think about that.
Yeah, and even when Beckett was like, when did I ever, like definitely gives me Tim Bradford to Lucy Chen vibes.
That he literally said that though when Lucy was like, I don't want you like moping around or whatever, he was like, when have I ever moped? Like I don't even know how. Whoa, trippy. Okay, I'm loving this. Now we do have to do another Castle episode.
We do. So
we can find like when we understand the like slow burn of it all, we can
the dynamic. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what episodes we would cover. Like I was thinking just like the lead up to Caskett, like finally getting together, but I don't know, I feel like maybe I don't know, like a few different episodes.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. We'll have to revisit that idea.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then we have like a wish list for Chenford. So just like things from Castle that we would like to see happen for Chenford, which could happen, but maybe not. I don't know. Lauren's one bullet point just it gets like it sends me. I'm done.
Obviously, like I want Chenford. I like want to see more of a build up for Chenford. I feel like
Yeah.
season 4 was very much a tease. Like I don't know. I feel like they in season 5 they could definitely not. I want to say like do better, but like build them up a little bit more. Give them more oomph.
Yeah. Move
Like
further that way to where they're
yeah,
like, getting together. Yeah.
exactly.
Lord,
I
I
love-
can't. I literally have to like mute my microphone because I was laughing so much. Oh my god. I can't.
Yeah, I think I just like want to see a little bit more build up. I need the like
Yeah.
a little more buzz, but I definitely like I'm so excited to see them undercover. I'm so excited
Yeah.
to see that dynamic and what's going to happen. Like that will be I feel like just like the base for like how season 5 is going to go and like what their dynamic's going to be and
Mhm.
how like because obviously they showed that Tim is like was like what at the end of their kiss.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see like how they're going to play that with Tim.
Yeah.
And like we've seen Lucy undercover, and we've seen Tim undercover, like both separately, never together.
Mhm.
So it'll be really interesting to see how they're like playing their parts together. But I also, I don't know, I love a slow burn. I love the slow burn, but also like I feel like they need to kind of speed it up, or at least like kind of
Build it.
build it close, like build it more to where they get to that point quicker.
They need more like big build up moments. Like
Yeah.
for example, like Castle and Beckett, like there was one they had a bunch of like very memorable moments before they got together, like when they were like together freezing to death in a freezer and she was like, Castle, like I just want you to know that and then like she passes out and they're like huddled together for warmth and almost together. And then like there's just like moments
That was
like
the one
that
where I was like, that's like new. I was like, they're in New York, right? Why are they like there's never anything like cold around them? And
I
then,
know.
Damn,
they're in the freezer.
there's the cold.
But like there was like big moments where you could see how much that they care about each other, but it wasn't enough where it was like, oh, let's get together, or oh, we're ready for that. But like you could just like you just knew. And I
Yeah.
feel like Chenford needs some more like I like call it like an oomph moment. Like
Yeah.
something like how the premiere of season 4 was. Like that was like an oomph moment.
Yeah.
When they were together at Tim's house. So I feel like they just need a little bit more of that. And then the reward of them getting together will be so good. Like it'll be so good.
Like I love a good Chenford look. I love a good Chenford line, but like I'm kind of over that at this point. Like give me more of that, yes, but like give me a hug, give me like a hand grace, something like that to where it kind of gets the other thinking like, oh, maybe like she's got feelings for me or he's got feelings for me. Like, yeah, I need more than just like a look or like
enough of like
lines.
baiting your audience. Like, let's go. Yeah.
Because I feel like we're all gonna get sick of it at some point.
I know.
Yeah.
So they can drag it out.
Yeah. Kari, what were some of your wish list items? Because I loved reading yours.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, I don't want people to be like, oh, why are you saying this? Like, I don't need them to be like super, like, I don't even know, like overtly, like with sexual innuendos or whatever, but just like, just they had like more in like that episode with like the Caskett flashback than like they ever have in the Rookie. Like I don't need it like all the time, but just a little bit more like flirting that like pushes the envelope a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't even have to be like Chenford, because honestly I could see it like more likely being like Lopez or something. Like I don't know. I just think they'd be like different and like I don't know.
I think it would show the flirty sides of the characters more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see it being more Lopez, honestly.
Yeah.
At least now because they're canon. Maybe Chenford in the future.
Yeah. And then again, I don't really know why, but I could just see like Lucy like hitting Tim to like shut him up for a second. Like they had so many like Castle and Beckett had so many like physical touch moments. So like I feel like more of that for Chenford. But then again, obviously I could see Angela smacking Wesley upside the head like once or twice. Just yeah. But yeah, I also obviously more undercover Chenford. I want like Lucy in like a dress and Tim in like a tux or like blazer or something, like I don't know, something like that.
If we get part of that for Dim and Juicy, no one's ever gonna hear from me again.
Yeah. And then just like Jennifer, you had mentioned earlier about like just people calling Beckett out on like her feelings. Like I could just see, I don't know why, but I just feel like since Tim is so stubborn, I kind of want Angela to like do that. And so like I'll pay all the money in the world for that.
That would be so good. Having an Angela and Tim thing about Lucy.
Yeah. But then I also just really want Gray to like call them out in front of everyone. because I know like Richard would do it like so well. Yeah. Especially since he's like a fan of that ship too. So
I would love to see Angela do it. Like maybe they're the district. She like, her and Tim are talking or whatever. And then Lucy like comes up and she's just she's so oblivious to what's going on. And Angela just like stops talking right as Lucy comes up. And she's like, what's going on? And Tim's like, oh, nothing. Let's go. Like before Angela could say anything more. Yeah. I don't know. It would be funny to see. That would be like the comedic part of it.
Yeah. Yes. And obviously I don't like want Chenford in like all dangerous situations, but just like to have Tim be in one for a change would be like a switch. Like I said, I mean, Castle, at least in the flashbacks anyway, seemed to like be in more of those than like Beckett. Or just like Chenford trapped together, but obviously they both make it out okay. I'm not having anyone, not losing half of a ship here.
No.
So
that'd be so good, Chenford trapped together and like them trying to get like even like the handcuffed episode where they were handcuffed together and need to get out. Like Chenford would kill that like type of episode.
Yeah.
I could see Tim like wanting to do something and like Lucy's arm can only go up so much.
Yep.
Oh my God. As far as like Castle getting into more like dangerous situations than Beckett, I mean that's definitely like a John Nolan thing too. Like that man just finds trouble.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I didn't draw that parallel before, but
wow. Yeah.
For me, I think I would like to see more tender moments for Chenford. Like we got them for Caskett, and I feel like we probably wouldn't on the Rookie just because it is more of that comedic like cop drama or whatever. But like when he was diffusing her nerves from standing on the bomb and like in the morning when she woke up, like I don't know, I feel like we won't get that for Chenford. Maybe the coffee, but I even highly doubt that one. But even just something like that would be cool. And then like similar to what you had said, Kari, about like one of them being in danger. I like kind of flipped it and had it be like Lucy being in danger and Tim being right there. Like the only two in the situation that like would be them, just them in the situation would be interesting to watch. Like we did see that in Dave Death. However, they weren't together at that time. So it was like she was in danger. They weren't canon then. He had to find her. And we had that in 122. But, I mean, even then, like the roles have it be the roles to reverse. So Lucy in danger, Tim trying to keep her calm. Because I feel like she would kind of be one that would spin out a little bit and he would be like, just stay calm. Like, you're fine. And then like the flirty banter, like I feel like now that Chenford is canon in a way, like hopefully they become more canon in season 5. Like we see some of that flirty banter. But yeah, I don't know. And then of course, like everyone wants to see this, but like everyone calling Lucy or Tim out for liking the other. Of course, I mean, I feel like that's going to be on our wish list up until that moment happens. And then,
so good.
Yeah, it's going to be so satisfying.
Well, I feel like Chenford, like when they do become canon, like maybe we could get more like softer moments because like Lopez had it in like I think it was 312, like their end scene,
Yeah.
just like being that like like just really like being there for each other in those like later moments. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they just have to be like official, like the ship is set sail, like everything's
Yeah.
good.
And then I got a little outlandish with this one, and I said, what if we got to see Chenford hooking up, and then Ashley, Tamara, or Chris, assuming that Ashley and Chris are still in the picture, walk in and like they have the other hide in the closet. I would be like, I would probably collapse from laughing so much. I said my choice would be Lucy and Tamara hooking up at her place, and either Tamara walks in or Tamara's like away for the weekend, and Lucy and Chris are still a thing. So like obviously he has to stop by because why not? And Tim's got to hide in, like he's not very happy about that. I don't know. I just like I don't know. I thought that would be funny, but I was also like that'll be very similar to Castle. So like make it Tamara walking in, like their pseudo daughter. That would be funny.
Well, that night I couldn't really see unless it was for like Undercover again or something that like they would do I know some people are like, oh, emotional cheating or whatever the hell that trope is that I don't really understand. I don't really see Chenford like being that ship that like
that's why I almost feel like it should be Tamara. She kind of walked in anyway with them kissing, but I don't know.
I just think that'd
like,
be funny if it was her and she's like, oh God, not again.
Yeah.
I already did this. When will I learn?
Oh my God. Or even like if she's walking Kojo and like brings him back to the apartment and lets him off the leash and she's like, okay, go find Lucy. And he like runs into her bedroom and like door cracks open and Tim's in there. Like, yeah, I'm getting to be too much right now. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, other than that, like just the music, but the Rookie, they don't really have like they have fun music, but nothing like really like romantic. So yeah. But that kind of wraps up like my wish list for Chenford. So yeah. Kari, do you want to close it out?
Oh, sure. Well, just because I had the question of like, would we actually watch Castle again? Like, I would honestly.
Yeah, it was like I did not put this in, so I don't know who did.
I mean, I would like I had already said, like I would watch more for Beckett than for Castle.
Yeah.
If there's like some episodes where there's less cringe and just like inappropriate jokes, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lauren, you had said that he like grows as time goes on, so maybe it's just later down the line I can appreciate.
Yeah, he's all player in season 1, and then he totally just like grows and becomes like this little simp for her.
Just I don't know, he just seems, I don't know if it's just because like I said in the beginning, like I'm not the kind of person that likes those kinds of characters where it's like their confidence like borders on being just like cocky and being like kind of a little bit like arrogant. And so, but I mean, I really like Beckett, so I would definitely watch for her.
Period. She literally is the star of the show. The show should have been called Beckett. Sorry.
As far as it goes for me, I mean, yeah, I would watch Castle. I think watching it like having the sole character in mind be Beckett. I mean, Castle, yes, like he's part of it. He's part of Caskett. I don't know. I guess for me, I would just have to like hone in on I'm specifically like watching for Beckett. But yeah, I mean, I would watch it like I don't know. Not while like all my other shows are on just because like there's so much else going on. But like yeah, definitely during the summer. I'll have to start watching it because it's all on Hulu. So
yeah.
Yes, please watch. It's my win for me.
Yeah.
You guys watch.
I can definitely, I mean, because like I'll get, because I'm going on vacation soon, but so I won't have like streaming or whatever, but they have all the cable channels, like including Lifetime. So I'm sure I will catch a rerun or two.
You need to
while
watch
I'm
it from the
on
beginning.
vacation.
That's a thing. Like, it doesn't hit the same. Like, you need to watch from
Yeah.
the pilot on. You can stop like middle of season 7. You don't need to watch that. But like, you don't need to watch season 8 either. But like, just like the first 6 seasons are top tier. Like, even up till season 5. Like, it's just so good. Like, I can't even. So good. So well done.
I'll definitely have to check it out. I think it's just gonna be like getting through the first few episodes, like watching Castle. But yeah, I mean, why not?
I think it's I because like going from the Rookie and then starting Castle, I think it's weird to see the same like main character in 2 different roles. Like, it's hard to like switch worlds. So like, it's weird.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with Lauren Graham when I was like obsessed with Gilmore Girls and watched that, and then I switched to Parenthood. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, because
It's the
she's
same
so
feeling.
vastly different.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
she's
like the
so
same
vastly
feeling. You're
Yeah.
like, wait,
Yeah.
something's not right.
But like, I love Lauren Graham. I love her so much. Her and
me
Peter
too.
Krause broke up, and I'm still unwell from
can't.
that.
In mourning, it's
Wow.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we said, if you want to watch Castle, you can go find it on Hulu. I know that when we tweeted about this episode, like that we were doing it, a lot of people said that they really liked it. So we have a lot of Castle listeners.
So good.
Yeah. But you guys can find us on Twitter at the Shop Talk Pod _ or email us at shoptalktherookiepodcast@gmail.com with all of your thoughts. We'll definitely be doing another Castle episode because why not? I mean, how can we not? Like, Alexi, a lot of the like writers have, worked on this show and The Rookie, and like Nathan's in it. So yeah. But you guys can find us individually on Twitter as well. I'm at jstark804.
And I'm at Kari Hyman.
I'm Ruzix Burgess.
And that's it for us. We won't be back with another episode until after the 4th for Chenford week. So we will see everyone then. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Go get him, boo.